They wanted it to be a clash of cultures.
Mm.
Not so much a clash of cultures, but a meeting of two cultures.
Yeah.
Through the eyes of an individual who knew nothing about this culture that he was about to venture into.
So I was born and raised into that kind of world, Te Ao Māori. So Te Reo Māori was my first language, and I was growing up. I watched my mum, my aunties, and my nannies on the marae do the karanga, the ko, the grieving so openly, and so I always had an example of how to do it. And sometimes growing up, I thought they were acting, but and sometimes it was real. But I could tell in the way their voices would go, or high or lower, or in the tone of their voice, and I could feel it when it was real. So I think I was drawing from those experiences, watching them, and that's how I got into the world of rangimai. And the night before most of the scenes, the grieving scenes, I would call my mum, and she told me every time before she does a karanga, she calls to our ancestors first, and then she calls to the kaupapa, or what's happening. If she was calling the dead onto our marae, or if she was calling to the manuhiri. That's how I did it.
With what Lee was talking about before, about not to make him be the white saviour, so that we bring a man into the story who really is unsure of who he is, and is suddenly forced into a situation that makes him ask questions of himself. And very quickly we see that the authorities in the town aren't really convinced that he's the man for the job either. So I think there's just a natural progression in the story in how he develops as a person. So as far as how to prepare for that, I think it's really just about us all sort of talking with each other and just understanding it slowly, and that's always the best. If I have to do more than that in preparation, then it sort of feels like I've lost some spontaneity. So for me, it's really just in the same way that you read a book and it really affects you and stays with you. If I can read a script and have some discussions about it, and I feel that, then I'm ready to go. In a way,
It's the horse didn't figure in Polynesian culture at all. It's never part of it. Horses were only seen when the introduction of Europeans introduced horses and cows and livestock into an environment which had never seen it before. So when Maori came across the white horse, it was seen as a very spiritual element. And you find it in a lot of engravings and on flags. Maori are big on flags. They love the flags and the Union Jack, and that's why I showed the Union Jack and the flags at the end. Because Maori created their own religion, hybrid Christian religions, and they always have flags, strange flags with moons and people, and especially the white horse, which appears in several.
So because I thought about symbolism. What you and Mr. Bennett and Danielson, you worked out the script together. Yeah. So how did it work out, the collaboration?
Oh, it's good. I love working with writers like Shane. Because we sit down and I always say something like, I need this to happen now, and I need Munro to do something like this. And he says, then we just throw ideas around. What about this? What about that? What about that? Shane goes off and writes something up, and then I come back and I go, no, it's too overblown. Let's minimise it or simplify it. Do this. No, let's. For example, the script originated with the white horse. Munro was supposed to jump off the ship, on riding the horse into the water and swim ashore. And it became impossible. The wrangler would say, I can get the horse on the top of the ship, but I can't get him to jump into the water.